Welcome back to PALS TV for our final two segments of episode or season 5 here, finishing up our 5th week. It's been a lot of fun. Next, we're going to be doing a little bit of education and then finishing out our day with some games. So Phil has given us such valuable information over the course of the last few weeks about just keeping safe and healthy right now, and you know how this virus truly does spread and what we can do in our own lives. So can't thank him enough for everything he's done in these segments. And we're going to have another educational segment with Professor Phil talking about some health. So live from Columbus, we have Phil.
Welcome back, gang. I did have this nice health background that I had last time, but I realized my jacket turns into a green screen and I just disappear. So you get the boring background, but we're going to have some pictures in here and things to look at. And at some point, we will have a very exciting demonstration, even better than last week's demonstration. It's going to be a good time and kind of vile and messy. And you know how we like messy. Okay. So today we're going to go over oral health, everything to do with our mouths. Not everything, mostly our teeth, but we're going to get into most of the stuff and at least touch on it. So what is the most important part for you to keep clean in your mouth? What do you worry about? Yes, Caitlin?
Germs.
Germs in the mouth? Absolutely. That is a thing to worry about. Kristen, you got anything? You got anything? Yeah. Yes, Kristen.
You can get cavities or a plaque in your mouth.
Plaque and cavities on your teeth. So we can get germs in a lot of different places. Plaque is mostly on the teeth, though it gets under the teeth and onto the gums as well. And then cavities are specifically just about our teeth. Let me throw up, oops, wrong button. So here's our mouth right here. We've got our teeth. That's where we get most of the plaque. That's where we get the cavities. We got our lips. Those are important parts. We got our tongue, and that can carry a lot of germs. You get the white stuff that kind of sits on your tongue. There's all kinds of germs in there. We got to make sure that's clean as well. And in the back here, the little hangy down part is called the uvula. That isn't really important in any way, except people just like to know what that's called. Shows up in a lot of trivia questions. So if you're playing trivia or you're doing crosswords, uvula, remember it. All right, so let me pull up the next picture. We can get right into the teeth. So as Kristen was saying, we've got plaque and we've got cavities. So your healthy tooth is going to be reasonably white. It might be stained from things. As anybody who has met me in person know, I drink Coke all the time. That definitely stains the teeth. Coffee. People that smoke those nasty, nasty cigarettes, filthy things, stains your teeth. But the stains aren't really a big deal. Right? It's not a very attractive color, but it doesn't hurt your teeth. It won't cause disease. Now, plaque is stuff that gets on there and stays. You got to really work to scrape that off or polish it off. That can hold germs in it. Those germs are really bad for your teeth, and they can be bad for the rest of you as well. One of the things it does to teeth, if we wait long enough, is we start to rot and we get the cavity, this black spot here. Cavity is from the same word as cave, and that's all it means. It is just a hole in your tooth. Not something weird and special. Your tooth is just rotted out and fallen apart. So bits of it chunk out. It's like somebody taking a chunk out of your bone. That's really all your teeth are just bones sticking out. And that's what you grind up your food with, is with your bones. which I find a little weird, but. So what are all the problems? Oh, hey, more people show. What are all our problems with these germs? So we can get the plaque, which holds the germs. We can get the cavities. You think of anything else that germs in your mouth are going to cause a problem with or give you more health issues.
Too much junk food.
What was that? Sorry?
Too much junk food.
Slow down just a bit.
Too much junk food.
Oh, too much junk food will definitely do that. All that sugar sits in there and it's not a good time. So we get all these germs, and if you remember from the science class, we started 2 weeks. Ended 2 weeks ago, and the week before that, when we were making the bacteria. Part of what we put into the bacteria for food is sugar, because bacteria like sugar. So when we get all that junk food and stuff and it sits in our mouths, all this coat that's filled with sugar and sits in our mouths, that just feeds the bacteria. So we get more and more. It's not that this has bacteria in it. I'm sure it does. Everything has bacteria in it. It's not a big deal. But as bacteria grows, we grow a bunch of them because we're giving them food all the time. That bacteria doesn't just hurt your teeth. One of the biggest and scariest things is that it can cause heart disease. Bad teeth and not brushing your teeth can give you a heart attack. It's not just that if you're not taking care of your teeth, there's a lot of other problems. But those bacteria that are in your mouth can travel through your bloodstream and get to your heart and directly cause a heart attack. It's really dangerous stuff. One of the reasons you got to go to the dentist once a year, usually, sometimes twice. Depends on your dentist and what they say for you individually. Yes, Kristen.
I go to the dentist, but I have to take antibiotics before I go to the dentist because I have an open heart surgery, so I can't. That's the only
Right.
thing I use.
So we have to be really careful, because when the dentist is in there scraping, or the dental hygienist is in there scraping, they get some of that bacteria loose. So that bacteria goes away, and it doesn't all rinse out. Some of it goes in. So if we've had surgery before on our hearts, or we've got a history of heart disease, even if we haven't had surgery, and that can be really dangerous for us. So Kristen, for instance, and other people need antibiotics to kill off all those bacteria before they get there. It could be really dangerous if we don't. But we need these things clean. So Caitlin mentioned junk food, lots of sugar. What else is going to be bad for our teeth? And in particular, and you're probably not going to guess it, but can you guess the thing that is worse for your teeth? There is one food that is the worst thing for your teeth ever, and it's not chocolate or sugar. But all the ones you got, feed me, hit me. What we got? What's bad for you? Kristen, hit me.
Some like coffee or like anything acidic.
Right. Exactly the word I was looking for when you said coffee. Perfect. So it's the acids. You remember, again, what we did in science last week, I think, with the egg, where we put it in the vinegar, which is just an acid. We turned that calcium shell into rubber. Calcium is the same thing that makes up your bones, same thing that makes up your teeth. So the acid that turned that shell into rubber will do the same thing to your teeth. It'll just wear them away and turn them into nothing. So we want to limit our acid. So your Coke, don't drink so much of it like me. Not so much of the coffee. Don't drink a lot of wine all the time. Fruit juices, while they're good in a lot of ways, that's a lot of acid in there. Water, that's good for you. What else is bad for your teeth to put in your mouth?
Ice.
Ice. Ice is bad for your teeth?
You chew it,
Yeah, you can chew ice. That's fine.
but
Real hard. You might hurt your teeth if you've got sensitive teeth, and that might hurt. So that's an individual thing. Remember, ice is just water that's really cold. So it won't cause damage to your teeth unless you break them. And it may hurt if you have sensitive teeth and gums. That'll get in there. Really cold stuff can really hurt people if you're sensitive. Yes, Kristen?
Chew tobacco, it's bad for your teeth.
Yes, any kind of tobacco, whether it's chewing tobacco, I guess snuff, not so much because that goes in your nose instead of your mouth, but cigarettes, cigars, pipes, all of that stuff. Tobacco, well, the nicotine in tobacco and some other stuff, depending on what tobacco you're using, can mutate your cells, change them. The tobacco itself, the smoke will discolor your teeth, but you can get all kinds of mouth cancer. Your teeth can start to rot because of that nicotine changing the cells and turning them against your body. Anybody else got anything? What's bad to eat? Bad to eat for your teeth. Caitlin, you got another.
Candy.
Candy. All that sugar. And depending on the candy, maybe acid too. So that sugar, again, it'll feed all those bacteria. It starts to rot your teeth. The worst possible thing you can eat for your teeth is potato chips. There's not a lot of sugar in potato chips. If you make your own, there can be no sugar at all. They're not acidic, but the starch in potatoes that's really out there in potato chips and held together well, that stays forever. It is like a glue in your mouth. And that doesn't hurt on its own, but it catches all those bacteria, holds them in, and that's good food for bacteria too. And then if I eat potato chips and have a drink of soda, normally the soda just goes right through my mouth. It doesn't sit on my teeth for very long. While it's bad, it's not the worst thing. But if I've got potato chips that I've been eating and that potato starch is all over my teeth, all that soda clings to that potato starch on my teeth, and it just sits with that acid right on my tooth, with that sugar right on my tooth, rots right through them. So potato chips, really bad thing. If you eat potato chips, you need to really rinse your mouth out well. You should brush your teeth right after that. But I mean, if you're out at the park having a barbecue alone or just with your family, because we're not going to get in a big group right now, small groups, just stay with the people you live with. You're out there, you don't have a toothbrush with you. You're eating chips and hamburgers and hot dogs. You got all those chips. After you're done, go rinse your mouth out at the water fountain. Get a bunch of water in there, scrub all that out as best you can. And then when you get a chance, brush your teeth. You got to get rid of that potato starch. You should eat or brush your teeth after every time you eat, if at all possible. And if you can't, at least rinse your mouth out. Mouthwash, obviously better than water, but you do what you can. Whatever you've got with you. You can almost always have water that you can rinse your mouth out with. That'll work just fine. Okay. There we are. Now to remember what picture we're on. Oh, we got a chat. Nope, not that one. Just Nick saying hi. Okay, so, well, actually, I don't want to pull that up quite yet. So we got our teeth, we got our gums, we got our lips, our tongue, all that stuff to worry about. How many teeth we got to worry about, generally, for an adult? You know how many teeth we got?
A lot.
Yes, it's a lot. Especially if you have a small head. It's quite a lot. Normally we got 32 teeth. Some of us, like me, have a really small, my entire head is small, but my jaw is very small. The 32 teeth is tough to get in there. Yes, Kristen.
Yeah, when I was really young and I had a filling on this side, and my doctor Matenzo did it something wrong, and they had to take it out, and I have a hole now. And when I got older, and I have to take all my wisdom teeth out on the back of my mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is exactly where we're going with this.
Mhm.
So, we got our 32 teeth. Now we will pull this picture up. In the back here, you can see our wisdom teeth. They come out much later in life. Sometimes when we're teenagers, sometimes far later than that. You usually have 4. One on the other side, top and bottom. And they sit underneath and then they push up. People like me, again with a very small jaw, my teeth don't fit in the first push against each other pretty hard. When my wisdom teeth started coming in, as you can see here, they push. They're not a lot of room. And if I've got a tiny little jaw, I got to get 4 more teeth in my head, or in my case 3. That'll crush all my teeth. They'll be all out of whack and stuff can get in between them. So it's a big deal to get wisdom teeth out when you need it. They can hurt if you don't. And if you've got it, unless you've got a really big head, it's going to cause some issues with crowding, and that will hold more bacteria, hold more food next to your teeth, helps them rot. That doesn't really sound helpful, but if rotting is the goal, then it's helpful. One of the problems, as Kristen was talking about, when we get wisdom teeth out or other teeth out, or if a tooth just falls out or rots away, is then we've got this hole. With wisdom teeth, they're sewn up pretty good, but you've still got a bit. So for a while, we've got to be careful. You've just got a hole in your gums. Let's pull that one up. And Kristen's showing you now if you want to look at hers. I don't really have a good picture of that. We'll go back to this one. So let's look at this middle thing. Right here, this can start to separate when your gums will pull away if they're not healthy. So you can get a hole underneath your tooth even before it falls out. So whether it's a hole because a tooth is missing, whether that's been a surgical type of thing, like removing your wisdom teeth, or one has just fallen out, or one has rotted away into nothingness, or as Kristen, a filling goes wrong and the tooth has to come out, or even if it's just a gap underneath it. That hole is a place where food can collect, where bacteria can collect. So again, we need to rinse that out really well and scrub on that, which is very difficult if it's an open hole, like your wisdom teeth have just been taken out and then you've got cuts in there, or probably it was pulled the same way for Kristen, I'm guessing. That's really painful to get in there. But you got to do as best you can. You get your mouthwash in there, scrub around it with your toothbrush, even if you can't get right in the hole. And as soon as you can, it doesn't hurt anymore. Get stuff out of there. We don't want a collection of food instead of a tooth. That is so disgusting. I don't even want to think about it anymore. Yeah, a big wad of potato instead of a tooth is not useful, and it won't help you chew anything. What's that there, Kristen? Other than toothpaste, I can see
I
that.
got this Crest scope. You just spray it in your mouth. You don't have to worry about when you go out, and you can use this and spray it.
Oh, I assume, but I don't know that brand, that would have a large alcohol base, which will help kill stuff, any of those bacteria and things. So that's a handy option. Also, if you're eating a lot of onions and your breath smells bad. Although if you ate a lot of onions, I would not think your breath smells bad. I like the smell of onions as well as garlic. And I keep saying not to. Hang on just a minute. Okay, there we are. We had a stray mic open. Have to close that down. All right. Where have we gone through? So, like we talked about before, your tongue can hold a bunch of bacteria as well. I keep hitting the wrong button to share this. So your tongue is not smooth like this. You probably remember from grade school science, you've got taste buds, tiny little bumps all over your tongue. So that makes a rough surface, not real rough, but rough enough that stuff can get caught on there. That's why we get that white film sometimes. Usually if you're not brushing your tongue. So you need to clean your tongue as well. Just rinsing it out is useful. You run mouthwash over it, water over it all the time, but you got to get that toothbrush in there every once in a while. Scrub on your tongue. Or they make tongue scrapers. I think they feel weird, so I don't use them, but they're perfectly good. But you got to get something, whether it's a toothbrush, whether it's a tongue scraper, doesn't matter. So the important things to clean our mouths, we got to clean the gums, we got to clean the teeth, we got to clean the tongue, got to get all through in there. So we rinse it out whenever we can. We use mouthwash whenever possible. We use a toothbrush and toothpaste. Anybody remember what kind of toothbrush you're supposed to use? How firm?
Soft.
What?
Soft.
Yes, always soft. Unless you are in a very, very particular case and your dentist tells you specifically use something else. It is always soft. The hard ones do not brush your teeth any better. They don't get stuff off more, but they will cause more damage to your teeth over time. Your dentist may tell you because of something specific, you need a medium or a hard. If not that, you go with soft. All right, so we're brushing our teeth. What does it look like? What's the motion that we make to brush our teeth? There we go. Go, Alex.
How about electric toothbrush?
An electric toothbrush is a fine idea. Moves
Yep.
over the place. It moves in tiny little circles. That's the important thing. You got to get around. You can go up and down and side to side. That helps. But it's those circles that get against the grains of everything. As Kristen's showing you, you got to get way back in there. There was oh God, this was forever ago. Early 90s commercial for a toothbrush at an angled end. So you can get to your back teeth better. That's not really necessary. But you'll find if you take a toothbrush and try and stick it to your back tooth, it's real tough to get to the ones way in the back if you pull your mouth way open. I don't know why that is. It seems like it would be easier, but you just can't reach it. So if you're finding that's the case, close your mouth a little more on top of your toothbrush, and you can get right back in there. It makes it a lot easier. The other option, as that commercial said, is you can get a flip top head and just hinge it all the way open. So if you can open your mouth completely flat, then no problem. I haven't met anybody that's able to do that yet. So close your mouth a little, get back in there. What is important about getting your teeth is making sure you get the whole thing. Get all the way around. So brushing, mouthwash, rinsing, a tongue scraper if you use it, or a toothbrush is perfectly fine for your tongue. Anything else good to keep your teeth clean? Yes, Kristen.
Flossing.
Flossing. I have an issue with flossing. Flossing will definitely get rid of stuff and help you get your teeth clean. Whether it keeps your teeth healthy or not is still up for debate. Dennis has been telling us to do this, but we did a meta-analysis where we looked at all the studies that people have done of flossing, and it doesn't prevent tooth disease, but it does get the chunks out between your teeth. I, for instance, had curried goat for lunch today. Goat is a stringy, tough meat. So it gets all in between your teeth, just like popcorn kernels. It's real tough to get out. So I'm definitely flossing after that just to get those things out. Kristen, what are you saying?
It's like a corn on the cob that gets stuck in your teeth. Like
Yeah, corn on the cob gets in there forever. It is tough to get out. That's true in a lot of things with corn. It's just tough to get out. Just stays there forever. So flossing is really useful to help clean your teeth. Whether it's good to prevent disease, we're not really sure, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And getting the food out, that'll help prevent disease. You get all that food out, you're okay. It's one of the easiest ways to do that. Anything else you can use? You get food out of your mouth and teeth? Well, mostly out of your teeth. Out of your mouth, you'll just swallow it. All right, Kristen, I thought it was going to be Alex on this one, but Kristen, you're up first.
Toothpicks.
Toothpicks. So toothpicks are useful in the same way that floss is. It'll dig stuff out. You got to be careful with the toothpick so you don't poke yourself in the gum. Make sure it stays in your teeth. When I was a child, I definitely poked myself in my gums and started bleeding out of my mouth. Not badly, but a bit. Caitlin, wave your hand if you had anything else, or was that what you were going to say? Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, that was what you were going to say? All right. I'm kind of out of ideas there. One of the other things you may find people using, which is not a great idea, are the same dental picks your dental hygienist uses. I own a bunch of those because they're useful to work on electronics and help clean equipment. And sometimes I get the dumb idea to take this big metal needle with a hook on it and scrape on my teeth because I don't think they're clean enough, or dig in them. And very often I hurt myself doing it. You can get dental picks and buy them, but you don't need them. Oh man, Kristen, this is my least favorite thing in the world. Okay, go for it.
I usually choose sugar-free gum, and I don't try not to drink too much pop and other stuff. So I'm just trying to keep myself on track.
Right, lots of sugar-free snacks. The very concept of gum makes me physically nauseous or nauseated, but you know, that works. If that's what you like, fine. Just don't bring it up around me or I'll get sick. But yeah, the sugar-free snacks, those are always useful to get that sugar away from your teeth. We're not giving the bacteria any extra food. So that is helpful. Trying to think what the next thing I was going to talk about before the big thing, and I don't think there is anything. So, I don't know how we should do this. We're going to do a demonstration again, how we should clean our teeth and mouth, make sure we get everything. I think we're going to go ahead. I'll unmute Caitlin, Kristen, and Alex. Wave if you want to get unmuted.
I'm asking their question.
Okay.
Now.
All right, guys. Get my equipment here.
So it's not too loud, so everything's working.
You guys are going to tell me how to work this thing. I don't have floss because it's disgusting to watch somebody floss. That's just nasty. Got everything else. My rinsey water. All right. Toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash. What are we doing? How am I brushing my teeth?
You need to put the toothpaste on the toothbrush.
Okay, now here's a question. Do we get the toothbrush wet before?
You get your teeth checked all the time, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, because I do that. Not everybody does that. I put a little water on my toothbrush. As Alex was saying, I use the electric toothbrush.
Ooh.
Here with a gift from my best friend. So we got some toothpaste on here. Toothpaste. All right. So here's the next big thing. Do we put water on the toothpaste brush after we put the toothpaste on?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because I do that too. I know some people say you do it before, some people say you do it after. I do it on both. We'll get that wet. All right. What's my next step here?
Hi, thank you for stopping by Starbucks. What can I get through for you? Hi, I'm just picking up a mobile order for Rebecca. For Rebecca? Uh-huh. All right, we'll see you at the window. Thank you.
Hang on, I gotta meet somebody. Okay. What was the next step again? I couldn't hear over that.
Put it in your mouth and scrub it.
Put it in my mouth. Okay. Where am I going first? Right. I go to the back myself. Right. Alex, you're going to need to either just point or wave since you're in the car.
And yep, I'm in the car.
I go here and I turn it on.
What's the name of the order? Rebecca.
I keep my mouth closed. So I keep my mouth closed so I can reach far back. Because I am using an electric toothbrush, I'm not doing this. It does it on its own. But when I turn it off, scrub around. And then after I get the outside, I go to the inside top. On the bottom, then on the top part.
Oh, I don't need to take the tray.
And then I go on the inside.
Oh, that tray? No, definitely not. And I hate using all the resources if I don't need them.
And then I switch over.
Decaf, great. Okay, thank you.
Then I switch over to the other side.
It's good to make sure which
Get
one.
the outside
Yeah,
here.
for sure. Person that drinks the regular, not the person that needs the decaf.
You right, Indiana Jones?
Yeah. I can't
All
hear.
right.
We can't hear.
Okay.
As an example of how
Alex, just unmute yourself if you've got something specific to say. Other than that,
That is
where you're at.
Yeah. Okay.
So we get both the sides, and then we go to the front. I like to get the front, and then behind them. We're going here. Most of us have teeth that hang over, like our bottom teeth sit in our top teeth just a bit. Some of us a lot, and a few of us have teeth that go the other way, and our bottom teeth go. Either are going to overlap. So you can't just close your mouth normally and get all your teeth. You've got to open your mouth just a bit so your teeth touch each other but don't overlap either direction. You gotta hold it there and get a nice scrub and then go in the back. Remember, circles. All right, so my teeth
This year look funny.
all been scrubbed. What am I doing next?
Rinse your mouth.
Oh, I've got another step before I rinse my mouth. What's the other thing I need to keep clean in here?
Your tongue.
My tongue. Although we should step back. One of the important things when we're brushing our teeth is that we've got the gums to worry about too. So you don't just get the white part. You got to get way up in there when you're getting your teeth and get your gums on the outside and on the inside. Get way up.
Just don't brush it too hard. Don't brush it too hard. You don't want to get
Yeah,
too.
yeah. That's one of the other reasons you really don't want the hard brush. All right, so got to get your tongue. I always like to use the electric part for this. Just makes it a lot easier. And you want to make sure you get your whole tongue, get as far back as you can. Probably not so far back that you're gagging. Okay, so, Kristen, what was my next step?
Rinse.
Rinse, just like at the dentist, rinse and spit. Okay. And then take a little water and get the toothpaste spill out of your beard. That's important.
I use a towel and wipe.
I normally do, but I didn't bring a towel into work today. Shockingly enough. Okay, so we brushed our gums, our teeth, and our tongue. We've rinsed all the toothpaste residue, and that's going to carry a lot of the extra food and bacteria away. Get all of that stuff out. What's going next?
Wash.
Mouthwash.
Yeah, you could floss. I'm not going to floss in front of you because nobody wants to see somebody's mouth hanging open and bits of stuff. Also, I flossed right before this because I had the goat and there was goat stuck in my teeth.
Mouthwash.
Mouthwash. That was a good way to go. I use this stupid high test mouthwash that is excessive in every way. And I use mouthwash all the time, like 4 times, 6 times a day.
It tastes
I'm
nasty.
guzzling them. What?
It tastes a little nasty though.
This has a flavor. Mint, it says. It doesn't taste like mint. But the yellow Listerine that just tastes like medicine, that's what I like. Do we know what mouthwash is good for? Why we use it? Because it's not just to rinse out. Yes, Kristen.
It helps you when you have like a surgery in your mouth and easy get all the stuff out.
Yeah, so we've got all those bacteria, particularly when there's a surgery and we need to get rid of those. Listerine in particular, and most mouthwashes after that have kind of copied them. Listerine was not originally a mouthwash. It was a floor cleaner for hospitals. It is antiseptic and kills germs like there's no tomorrow. It's great for killing germs. So we do this. How long do we rinse the mouthwash around in our mouths?
I don't know.
Should
About like 3 seconds.
60 seconds, 1 minute. So, keep time.
Get it out.
Bill. Oh, brother.
So, if you cut your gums, that might burn a bit. It'll still feel kind of burny because there's a massive amount of alcohol in this one in particular. Some of the others don't have them. They're mouthwashes for sensitive teeth and gums that don't have alcohol in them. I've never spit so much on camera in my life. Part of what you're doing is also getting extra stuff out between your teeth because that water, the mouthwash, you're squirting that fluid between your teeth as much as humanly possible. There are also water picks and things like that you can use to help with that. But this is one way to do it. So again, we're going to have some extra stuff in our mouth we need to get rid of. So after that, got to rinse again. And if you don't like the alcohol taste, you just take a little drink of that.
I don't like that.
Actually, don't mind the taste at all. Let me get those out of the way because I have zero desire to spill a great big bowl of spit all over the floor here and have to clean it up later. Okay.
You drink like drinking like beer.
Beer's not a great thing for your teeth.
No.
Most beers are pretty bad for your breath, too. Okay, so that brings us to the end of taking care of our mouths, our teeth, our gums. What's the tongue? Tongue. I forgot tongue. I couldn't. Tongue. It was on the tip of my.
Done.
Hey. All right, so we're coming to the end of our time. I forget who's next, but somebody's coming up next. Aaron will tell you, or Mike maybe. And we're going to go to that next week for health. We're going to be talking about coping with stress and some ways we can deal with that, included with several types of meditation and other stuff. So if you guys want to think of those kinds of things, and don't forget Caitlin's great idea the other day, when showing up Thursday for science, bring your own science projects and let's show them to everybody. Show me what you're doing for experiments.
Phil, a good question for you.
Yes, Caitlin.
When I was little, I have an overbite.
An overbite? Yeah, that's pretty normal to have a small one. Some people can have quite a big one. He's
I
got
got
to be
braces
careful.
twice.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. And people can fix it, orthodontics, things like that. All right.
Indiana Jones, you're gonna have a nice weekend.
I'm going to do my best, Alex.
Thank you, Alex, Caitlin, Phil. Valuable information as always. Can't thank you enough for coming on here and continuing to give us great lessons. So looking forward to what we have in store for you next week. Again, Professor Phil. And that was his live from Columbus segment. So take another short break here, then finishing out our day, heading over to Heath and playing some games over there with our friends in Licking County. So come back and join us here shortly. Thanks again, Phil. Have a great weekend.
Take care, guys.